Tell Me About It is a momentum style writing app. In other words, it's like a background that's interactive. So it's written in React using Redux on the front end, and then it has a Rails API backend. As you can see, first to log in, we have to log in with GitHub. That login is what allows us to save and post things within the app. Tell Me About It uses the GitHub API to integrate posts into GitHub Pages, which is how you can publish straight from within the app. And once we're logged in, the first thing I always do is find a wallpaper. We can find a wallpaper by clicking on the right side here. This uses the Unsplash API to find really nice images to be our background. If we see one that we like, we can just leave it, or maybe there was one before that we liked better, so we can just go and click over here and it'll go back. But the point is that now it can sit there and wait for us to be ready with this pleasant background, so you won't mind looking at it. When we are ready, we can see our saved drafts. These are all saved in the database and not yet posted. And we can also see here under post, the publish post. These are pulled from my GitHub Pages repo, which is here. So you can see that they just come straight from there. At this point, we kind of have two options. We can continue working on a draft, or we can start a new one. So let's start a new one. If we click on this cursor, it gives us a blank text editor to start a new draft. The editor was written using Facebook's Draft.js, which is kind of like its own implementation of rich text. So like many text editors, there's a lot of formatting options. For example, if I write a post, like what's the word Webster, and then I add in some content here, I can style all of this text using the buttons up here, H1 and H2. And it also responds to keyboard shortcuts. So for instance, Command B is bold, Command I, italics, and so on. Then it has spell checking too. So you can see there's a lot of words it doesn't recognize here, so you don't have typos. At the bottom here, it tells us whether or not the post has been saved. We also have the option to return back to either posts or drafts, and then there's buttons to post immediately and to save it to the database. So as you would expect, Tell Me About It will save the post with formatting. So for example, if we save it and then close it, go back, and then we open it again, we can see the formatting is still there. And other posts are going to have that formatting, their own formatting. It's going to save there as well. So for GitHub Pages, because it uses Jekyll, in order to format the post, it needs to be posted in Markdown. So Tell Me About It is going to automatically convert the post to Markdown so that it can be posted with the right styling when you click the post button. It's going to take care of all that. And then we can see the new post. So Tell Me About It is great because I'm not always going to be working on a new post, and that's kind of the point. I wanted something that looked great, that could just sit there. You can change the background and wait for inspiration to strike, and then I can immediately write it down and post it, or I can come back to it later. If I forget and close the window, no problem. Everything, including the wallpaper that I've chosen, comes back up. And if I totally want to leave the app, I can by just like clicking this X here. But for me, I'm always going to leave it signed in. That way I won't miss my next big blog post, or more likely it'll keep reminding me that I should try and post more in my blog.